You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
It's week 2 and the Miami Dolphins will be travelling to the northeast to take on a division foe in the New England Patriots. Coming off of a 466-yard and 3-touchdown performance, QB1 Tua Tagovailoa looks to keep an undefeated record against the Patriots since entering the league in 2020. Paired with wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who collected 11 receptions, 215 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, Dolphins fans are witnessing some of the most exciting football it's seen in the past 30 years, and the best is yet to come. Fins up, Fin fans. Now back to Charlie and Kadeem.
Hey, that was kind of clean, you know, with the little intro, then the fade out to black, and then I like that.
Shout out to Jordan Simmons making the cameo on the live. First time she was on the live. That's what's up.
Yeah, you can see the production's getting better and better with every passing week.
It's getting what?
It's getting better and better.
Better and better. Better and better.
I thought you were gonna make some kind of I don't know what, that doesn't even matter. Before we dive into the New England Patriots preview episode, if you're with us in the live, drop us a comment, let us know how you're doing, how your week's gone, how you're feeling about the game. Comment on the video if you're not in the live, you know, watching it on a Saturday or a Sunday or even a Monday, you know, just always like hearing back from our fans. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, on Patreon. Definitely want to join up to Patreon, especially, you know, ahead of a game when you got the easy money Patreon only stuff.
Hey, listen, we cashing out, Kadeem. Patreon is up. Just know this year we started Patreon, our Patreon easy money segment with a budget, $1,000 budget. And all I'm going to say is all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
It's funny you went there because I was thinking, is it the Jeffersons? Because we're moving on up to the that's what my mind went.
Well, we're gonna see how much we can flip it. We're gonna see how much we can flip it.
Might need to flip it with some help from a certain bookie from next week. But a little tease there. Little tease. But yeah, Mr. Charlie Touche, how are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. And it's week 2. Dolphins are traveling to Foxborough to take on the division foe New England Patriots. And I actually think we're going to hit them with the Tyreek Hill. 2-0. Tua has never lost against Bill Belichick, and I don't think he's going to start now, Kadeem.
No. Very quickly, go through the comments. IMAX here as always says, what's up, Kadeem, Charlie, and chat. And nice to see that you got your Tua card. IMAX won a Tua Tagovailoa card giveaway just from being in the live and commenting. So you never know when we're going to do a giveaway, and you never know what you're going to get. And again, not to go back and plug it again, but if you're part of the Patreon, you're going to be part of every single giveaway that we do. Robert Ashton says, Go Time Dolphins. This is the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. We have the main man, Mr. Charlie Touche, and his amazing helper, Kadeem Simmons.
That's not what it says.
It says amazing. Your favorite podcast. And then shout out to Rob. He says, how's it going, peeps? It's going all well.
What's up with it, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, it's Patriots. Tua is undefeated against the Patriots. Given how the Dolphins played in week one, how the Patriots played in week one, there's every chance that we go 2-0. But obviously, we'll delve into that as this show goes along. And yeah, as Rob says, going to be a late one on Sunday night. He taking a week off work just to recover. That's
Sheesh. Sheesh. Staying up for the primetime episode on the Primetime Podcast. Shout out to all the fans across the pond and across the world that have to stay up at odd times of the morning just to watch their Dolphins. Their Miami Dolphins play at 8 o'clock Eastern time game, and it's probably, 2 o'clock in the morning for y'all?
I think it'd be
2:30?
1:15 or like.
That's crazy.
I would double check because normally Sunday night football starts at 1:30. Normally it's 1:30, but sometimes you get these. 1:20 it starts.
So Kadeem,
1:20.
Tua came out busting out the gates, bro. Played a Chargers team that held them in check the last time they played each other. Came out busting. I actually thought we were going to struggle against the Chargers. What are we going to look like in New England?
Before we get to that, what do Charlie Touche and Tua Tagovailoa have in common?
We both jiu-jitsu practitioners.
Okay, what else do Charlie Touche have in common?
We're Christians.
Okay, what else?
I don't know. What you got?
You both drive past Miami Dolphins players when they're broken down on the side of the road. That's what you both do. Charlie Touche and Tua Tagovailoa do not stop to help Miami Dolphin players who are broken down on the side of the road.
Hey,
Charlie.
Listen. Hey. There's a story about Dante Culpepper broken down in his, I want to say it was like a 72 Caprice, maybe. It was an old school. And he was broken down on the side of the road. And no one stopped to help him. That's all I'm gonna say. No one stopped to help him because it was, you know what I'm saying? If we was winning games, maybe he would have got some help. But yeah, it turns out Tua was on the way to work and he seen who he thought was Teron Armstead, but wasn't sure. And he drove past him and he calls I want to just probably some type of player personnel help, you know what I'm saying? And like, hey, I think Teron Armstead's stuck on the shoulder, you know what I'm saying? Down the street. And the dude was like, yeah, that was Teron. And Tua was like, well, I'm already here, so I can't go back now. But funny story, Kadeem, where Teron Armstead was stuck at, there's a lake. And that is the lake I used to go fishing at growing up. Like right there. Not 15 minutes down the lake or 100 yards away from the lake. Right there is a lake. And if you go underneath the bridge, there's a lake under the street that he was traveling on. And that was the exact same lake where we used to fish. Peacock bass.
It's crazy. So what did you ask me before I threw that little trivia question at you?
Yeah, man. Does Tua keep it moving? Like what we looking like? Is he gonna keep the is this the Tua we're supposed to expect now?
Yes and no. I know that's a really on the fence answer. I don't envisage Tua going for another 400 yards. I necessarily don't want him to do that because, like I said, midweek, I don't want to get into these 36, 34, 40, 43, back and forth games. If we and Tua need to put up 400 yards against the Patriots defense to win the game, it means we've given up way too much to either Mac Jones or Ramondre Stevenson, and that just can't be allowed 2 weeks in a row. So, listen, if Tua wants to throw for 400 yards in the first half and get 4 touchdowns and then the second half sit, hey, by all means, go ahead and do that. But I do expect another throwing clinic, especially with some of the injuries the Patriots have, and we'll get into that into no huddle. But yeah, I'm a worrisome person, Charlie. I'm quite negative. I am not that worried going into this Patriots game because I just don't see on paper where they're really going to hurt us. And Tyreek Hill has been talking a lot this week. I don't see any DB in the league, let alone the Patriots, that can cover Tyreek Hill for the course of 60 minutes, let alone, a Jalen Waddle as well, and Eric Ezekama, maybe even a Devon Achane.
So yeah, Salty Tua gets it done, Rob. I don't have any tattoos, by the way, Rob. I just felt like if I got one tattoo, I was gonna just get the whole everything was just gonna be tatted up. I was just gonna, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. So I'm dope boy fresh with no tats on my flesh for now. And because if I start now, like I'm gonna be mad that I didn't get started as Kadeem flexes his tats on camera. So yeah, Kadeem, I think this is where we're at. I think we're in a place where it's understood. Salty Tua is a thing. And just like Tua said himself, I don't care. I don't care if people don't think like if the people think it's a fluke or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people out there, and I was surprised by one of the McCourties saying, "Oh, why would you play man against the Dolphins?" Probably because you have the best zone beating quarterback at quarterback, which is Tua. And then you have the best man beating quarterback at quarterback, which is Tua. So anything you decide to play against the Dolphins, Tua is going to eat it up. And this is factual. Last year, Tua was the best man beating quarterback and the best zone beating quarterback. And we just didn't finish. So I expect New England to come out playing zone 100%. And I expect to get the dub. Not foreshadowing, because if you listen to that last episode, you would know something that we're probably going to bring back up in this episode. But yeah, I think we get it done. I think they're going to play more zone, probably try to blitz us more and really test us out, because the Chargers didn't get home last week. So I think the Patriots are going to be like, yeah, well, let's see how fortified you really are in that front five that you have there. So I'm expecting to see some exotics coming at us, but I also expect us to get in the box quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. JML and Lane at the pretty much the exact same time say the exact same thing. They both say, "What's up, fellas?"
One with punctuation, one without.
No, both. Well, both have the apostrophe and the what's.
I said punctuation.
But you're right. Apologies, you did. So I wasn't
See?
listening. I've got my my Bill Belichick New England Patriots headset.
Hey, yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna do away with the blue headphones. Like for everyone who doesn't, you know what I'm saying? I have some blue headphones on. I'm gonna do away from them, and I'm gonna switch it up. Now that we got the dolphin color room, got the dolphin gear. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna do away with the blue headphones.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get me some Miami Vice headset as well, just to like keep it fresh.
So I'm saying, Kadeem has the Vice City Jalen Waddle jersey on, the pink with the baby blue and the purple fade. It's something to see. Does Waddle show up, Kadeem? Like, not saying that he didn't show up, but Tyreek went off last game. Is this the game where they overcompensate and make sure they clamp Tyreek, and then all of a sudden Waddle arrives and says, "Y'all forgot about Dre"?
I think he will need to be on the field more than he was last week. But I think I said, after that game, it probably was just a precaution, given his comeback off an injury in preseason. And the way Tyreek Hill was going off, there wasn't much need to really play and risk a Jalen Waddle. But yeah, I can imagine Jalen Waddle probably gets an increase in snaps against the Patriots, because it's, again, not to foreshadow, no huddle, but with the injuries that the Patriots have, you put even a half-fit Jalen Waddle out there, he's going to cause problems. And it's something that Mike McDaniel said a lot about Jalen Waddle when he does have an injury. It's more about keeping him, on the sidelines or not practicing for himself and not in order to protect himself. So I have no doubt that if need be, Jalen Waddle can go every single snap. I think it's still early. As we say, or as they say, the season isn't won and lost in week 2. The last thing you want to do is play Jalen Waddle, made the injury even worse, and then miss him for even longer. So I think he'll definitely get an increase in snaps. listen, for the limited snaps he saw against the Chargers, he still somewhat went off better than most guys, do who are a number one wide receiver and getting loads of targets. So, yeah, I expect him to have a semi-decent game as he works his way back up to full fitness.
What's the state of the AFC East right now, Kadeem? Jets are 1-0, Dolphins are 1-0, Bills are 0-1, Patriots are 0-1. What are we expecting in the next 8 weeks out of the AFC East?
Probably I feel like every team bar the Dolphins are in some kind of crisis. Obviously, the paper planes beat the Bills, but they lost their starting quarterback, so they now have to adjust to that. The Bills lost week 1. Josh Allen just threw interception after interception after interception. He's probably going to try and overcompensate for that. And kind of see how that goes. And then the Patriots are kind of trying to find their identity. No offense, still post Bill Belichick, post Tom Brady. I think they're looking at going injuries, whether Mac Jones really the answer. Bill Belichick always make things difficult, but no one's scared of the Patriots. And once you get rid of that fear factor, they become a whole different, they basically become just an NFL team, which is what during the Tom Brady years, it didn't feel like they were that. I'm just going to go through a few quick comments quickly. So Robert says, grammar and punctuation cards. Again, I should know, it's part of my job. JML says, I was watching Mike McDaniel and the pivot and missed notification of the show, but you're here now. We appreciate that. IMAX says, we have to win Sunday night because I've been talking trash to a co-worker. That's a Patriots fan from Memphis, Tennessee, of all places. JML comes back in and says, I think it was an hour-long interview with Mike McDaniel and Channing Crowder. It's irresistible, cannot be missed. Dropped 2 hours ago. JML says, I definitely have talked myself into that particular corner before IMAX. And then Robert mentioned about the whole Waddle and Hill stuff. But that's a conundrum, isn't it? Stop Hill, Waddle was waiting. Cover Hill and Waddle, Barrios, and another is waiting. Stop all three, and there is a one option. I wouldn't say there's a one option because the Dolphins don't really run the ball that much.
I mean, it is a run option though. We don't do it much, but it's there. It's there for the taking too.
Yeah. I know there was some kind of panic when Raheem Mostert didn't practice. I believe was it on Wednesday?
Yeah.
People were like, that's it. This is why we go get Jonathan Taylor, all that kind of stuff. We told you to get him earlier, but it seemed like it was just a vet rest and there wasn't much to worry about. But we might be seeing the NFL debut of Devon Achane. For anyone who is new here and missed us during the pre-draft and post-draft process, tell everyone why Devon Achane holds a special place in Go Time Dolphins hearts.
In my opinion, Devon Achane can be in the same conversation. Not saying better, but he can be in the same conversation as an Austin Eckler. I did not think the Dolphins were going to select Achane because he's not the prototypical size that Mike McDaniel usually goes after. So I loved him in the pre-draft process. I put him on my Touche's 24. I thought he was going to be one of the most underrated players in the draft. So I took advantage of it. Lo and behold, the Dolphins take him. And we have a clip that lives in infamy now of me like being super shocked and Kadeem laughing at me while I'm being super shocked. And my neighbors talking about, hey, we heard you during the draft when the Dolphins were drafting. It's crazy. So, Devon Achane makes his NFL debut in a regular season game this Sunday, we believe. So Mostert had the day off, vet rest, and you wonder what we're going to see, right? So we were talking about AFC East, and we got some. It's not Buffalo week, but AFC East, because I still kind of wanted to throw this out there for all of Bills Nation that may be listening. Shout out to like the 2 Bills fans that rock with us on this podcast. We rock with y'all too. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
We just don't want y'all to win, but we still rock with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So In the last 14 starts, passing yard average per game. Tua, 287. Allen, 250. This was in the past 14 games. Completion percentage. Tua, 64.5. Allen, 61.8. Touchdown and interception ratio. Tua, 28-9. Allen, 27-15. Passer rating, 106. Tua, 90 for Josh Allen. It's crazy because I really wanted the whole turnover thing, you know what I'm saying? But we couldn't find it. And since 2018, Josh Allen has 84 turnovers, more than any quarterback in the league. In his last 19 games, he had a combination of fumbles and picks of 37 total. 51 fumbles since 2018. Bro, you can't, this is like some video game stuff. If you had a quarterback, Kadeem, that had those numbers in the turnover area, you'll be like, yo, we need to start thinking about some things. I ain't gonna say you're gonna get rid of them, but you really need to start thinking about some things, especially if you're not going to like the AFC Championship every year with something like that. But that's the AFC East. The reason why I asked about the AFC East, Kadeem, was because I wanted to ask you about the AFC Conference overall. There are only 6 teams in the AFC that came out with a win last Sunday. So now there are only 6 teams. How many teams make it to the playoffs, Kadeem?
7.
7 teams make it to the playoffs. So as of right now, the 7th team is 0-1. So there's only 6 teams in the AFC that have a win. I would, people gonna say, oh, well, what happened to the AFC being the best conference? Well, that's why it's so competitive. That's why you have what you have, because it's so competitive, right? But do you think there's a possibility, Kadeem, that the AFC is not what everyone made it out to be?
No, I think there's always extenuating circumstances to most things. So obviously you had the Dolphins, or I think most AFC teams played each other. So the Dolphins played the Chargers, the Browns played the Bengals, the Jets played the Paper Planes played the Bills, all that kind of stuff. So in those situations, a team has to lose. And what's interesting is that before the game, there was a lot of talk, what I saw on social media anyway, of people saying that the Bengals are going to absolutely dog walk the Browns because, the Bengals are a better franchise on paper right now. And it's something stupid, like Burrow's only beaten the Browns like once since he's been drafted and played them. I think it's like 1-5 against them. And people are saying this game isn't as decided as you guys think it is. For whatever reason, Joe Burrow just can't beat the Browns. And it happened again. That game was awful. Both teams were awful.
Mm-hmm.
But Burrow was just more awful than the Browns. But you probably expect the Bengals to come back and win this week, and the Browns will probably lose. So, yeah, I don't think it's a case of...
Who the Browns got?
Let's have a quick look.
I know the Bengals have Baltimore.
The Browns have the Steelers.
Browns
Monday
have
Night
the Steelers.
Football.
I don't know, bro. There's some stuff going on with Kenny Pickett. And obviously, we don't wish injury on nobody, but he took another hit to the head, bro. And, speculation, and I don't really like running with speculation because it's exactly what everybody did with Tua last year. Dude, it was a nasty hit to the, I think his head hit the turf again, and it looked really bad. And you don't ever want to see that. So there's no telling what's going on with Pittsburgh right now. I can see Cleveland winning that. But the Bengals and Ravens, I don't know. Maybe y'all have to check us out on the Patreon to get some picks and see where we're going there. Bro, did you know Isaiah Wynn didn't allow a single quarterback pressure in 46 passing snaps last week?
I still need to know why he came out for that one snap and Lee Meikelberg came in.
That was probably an equipment issue.
Or maybe he had to go to the toilet. But I'm sure it was just kind of like
one snap, bro. One snap. If he hit, there's no porta potty on the side of the sideline, bro.
I take it like the defense was on the field, so maybe like he had to go to the toilet to do his business, and then it's like, yo, I'm back on. Oh, snap! He kind of like.
So you think he just like this? I'm done with this guy. I'm done with this guy.
as you're done with me, let's go for some comments because obviously we appreciate all the comments here in the live, after the live, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, all that kind of stuff. So, IMAX talking about his Patriots, was it co-worker? Yep. He said Steve Grogan when I said Patriots, so I knew he wasn't a bandwagon fan. JML says, I think Belichick is going to have to use a heavy safety set. His cornerback room isn't fast. He'll have to compensate with safeties. Robert Ashton says, Touche 24, the future of the Miami Dolphins.
Hey, I'm praying for it.
IMAX says there will be hoes though, talking about obviously the Patriots defense and stuff. And if they play off too far, Hill, Watt, and Berrios, those guys can cut their route short and get some yard loss to catch. And then JML with his thumbs says, City Sal may be out of injury, speaking of Touche 24, and then tries to spell City Sal a few times, to which IMAX says Zagazal, which I loved. I love that. Robert Ashton asked, says, if you had a QB that was good, even only taken into consideration this week one, you'd think he'd get some recognition. JML says he's a rookie guard that went late in the draft at start for the Patriots last week. To decide it is. Robert Ashton asks, can I claim the receipt for saying Charlie's QB ratings were 9 months too early?
Listen, we can stop right there, Kadeem. Listen, bro. All I'm gonna say was shout out to Kai Kid too. He also had Tua second overall, but I had Tua second overall. Got some pushback. All I'm saying is, bro, you gotta project the right way. And when everybody had Tua 20th, ranked 20th, I had him 10th. When everybody had him in the top 10, I had him second. When everybody said the Dolphins wasn't gonna do it, I said we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Yo,
can I just push back quickly? You say you had Tua top 2, yeah?
Yeah.
What did you say after we went off air?
I said I could make an argument, a legitimate argument for Burrow to be second, but it's go time Dolphins. Hey, yo, Kadeem, you're not gonna ever get me to not say something. I can make the argument. I can make the argument. I can make the argument for Burrow to be second. But what did Burrow look like Sunday? What did Tua look like Sunday?
I said Burrow was trash.
Burrow's not trash though. Joey Bullett's not trash.
Of course not. And he got bread as well. He really need a nickname for him because like the amount of money he got, new nickname. IMAX says I knew it was a player. I just forgot which position and where. Yeah,
City Sal got some significant. He got some significant snaps last week too.
JML says I think we took him in the GTD mock draft. Listen, I
think we took them both in both mock drafts.
Listen, the way we doubled the chip at bunch positions, yeah.
I like the way JML said we took him. This is the collective front office. You know what I'm saying? All of us, not just me and Kadeem, but all the go timers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we took him in the mocks, and now he's getting significant snaps in New England, but he might not be playing this week, which is unfortunate. You don't ever want to see someone get hurt, Kadeem.
Of course not. NNDB says, fins up, guys. All the AFC teams that played the NFC teams lost, but then again, it's only one game. That's all the comments we've had so far. Guys, keep commenting. We will read them all out. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Like, smash. If you're watching on your phone, turn it, I guess, this way up so you can get the like button and press the like button and subscribe, all that kind of stuff.
I got something for you, Kadeem.
Shoot.
Since we're talking about quarterbacks, how successful is Mac Jones going to be this Sunday night? When I give you this stat, knowing since 2022, the cornerback to give up the most yards in coverage is Xavier Howard with 865. How successful do you think?
Sorry, since when?
2022.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's given up almost 1,000 yards in coverage. And this is what we live with. We live with the superstar. He's going to come off the coverage, get a pick, make a forced fumble, pick up a fumble, scoop and score. But he's also going to lead the league in yards given up in the season. How we feel about that?
You said it yourself. It's the story and the relationship with Xavier Howard. He's going to get burnt. He's going to get interceptions. Like, you test him one too many times, he's probably going to come down with a pick. If you test him enough and then stop testing him, and you've got your yards and no interception, then it's probably the best of both worlds, I guess. I'm not too worried about it. Especially last year, given you called it loser limp.
Yeah, everyone had the excuse. Oh, he's hurt. Like, all right. So hold on. So, how you feel about Mac Jones this game, though?
I don't know who he's going to be throwing to, and I think I joked on the Fins Nation UK podcast. Go check that out if you haven't already. That Mike Gesicki, in his time in Miami, didn't get much separation, but had the best hands of the team, and didn't have much yards after the catch. Would not be surprised if on Sunday he has loads of separation and loads of yards after the catch. He's like, you know what? I'm going to show you guys what you missed out on. But yeah, Matt Jones throwing to Kendrick Bourne, Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker if he plays. We should have enough weapons on the field, with or without Xavier Howard, all that kind of stuff, to stop Mac Jones and force them to run. The issue is, what run defense are we going to get from the Dolphins?
Yeah, we gave up 88 yards before contact. 88 yards before contact last week against the Chargers, and we have the 5th worst running defense in the league. Yo, Ramondre Steven might have a ball this game. I already tried to trade for him in fantasy. Like I legit did. You know what I'm saying? Like he might have a day.
Yeah. Vic Fangio came out and was like, it's my fault. I didn't have the guy prepared. That's, your coach taking the heat. I think he did have him prepared. They just didn't execute.
Nah, I'm not buying that. If it looked that bad, it's on coaching too, bro. It's not only on.
Oh no.
If it looked that bad, it's everybody got to get a piece of this blame.
Oh no, of course, but at the same time, we've had this conversation before with different things. I can't imagine Vic Fangio told them to just let Austin Eckler and those guys run butt naked whenever you want. So yeah, like obviously Vic Fangio going to come out and say, "Hey, it's my fault. I didn't have him prepared," all that kind of stuff. But once you step over the white line, let's not do anything stupid. So, no, I do think, fair play to coach for taking the blame. Hopefully, they're better prepared this week. Hopefully, they do force them into second and long, third and long, obvious passing downs, and our pressure can get home. Because that was the other thing as well. Up until those last few drives, Justin Herbert was clean. Like, same way Tua Tagovailoa was clean all game, Justin Herbert was clean until those last few drives. So we need to, as you mentioned before, we have so much money tied up into the defensive line, all that kind of stuff. We need to be better at stopping the run and rushing the quarterback, and not just getting pressures, but getting sacks as well.
Did it feel like Jalen Phillips was 3rd in the league with 7 pressures last week? Like apparently he's 3rd in the league with pressures current time right now, and he had 7 last week. Did it feel that way?
I noticed him a lot getting round the edge, and it reminded me very much of his rookie season, where people were saying, well, he's a boss. It's like, I don't know what you're watching. It's just that turning those pressures into sacks.
Jason Keck just caught a stray, boy. Shout out Jason Keck. I rock with you, Jason Keck. Kadeem don't rock with you.
No. I didn't say Jason Keck. I did not say Jason Keck specifically.
Jason Keck caught a stray.
There was a lot of Dolphins fans who believed that Jalen Phillips was a bust after his first season because of his sack numbers. So yeah, but again, it's you draft him 15th overall, you want to see production, you want to see sacks. Pressures are nice, sacks even better. So no, I definitely noticed a lot of that Jalen Phillips winning his battles is now just about once again finishing. It's all good beating your guy, but you need to beat your guy and get to the quarterback. And the Chargers and Justin Herbert done enough time and time again to get the ball out just before Jalen Phillips got home. So again, it will come. We know the Dolphins, again, as you said, are paying so much money to the likes of Emmanuel Ogbah, Bradley Chubb. Those guys, when on the field as well, need to get home. If I can find it very, very quickly, Tom Valentine of PFF sent me a stat during the week about Bradley Chubb. I want to find it very, very quickly.
Is it the one where Dolphins total sack number went up 16% after they added him to the team. So his
No,
sack total didn't go up, but the Dolphins did.
no. It's basically like he's ranked really low. Here it is. Bradley Chubb's pass rush win rate since joining the Dolphins in week 9 of last season is 7%, which ranks 51st among 59 qualifying edge defenders.
But
So I say,
the
like,
Dolphins sack rate went up
oh,
16% as total.
of course, yeah.
So it's like, yo, you still got to worry about him over there. He's not getting the sacks, but everybody else is.
No,
Not
of
this
course,
year,
yeah.
obviously not this year, but since week 7 or 8 last year, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would like for, since you're getting the $150 million contract for you to produce these sacks, but it's like he's not getting them, but everyone else is because of him. So
Yeah. So and that's more the point. The Dolphins are paying a lot of money to guys. They need to be getting home. They need to be winning their, their one-on-one draws and stuff like that. But it's the second week in a new system in terms of actually being on the field and putting the practice and stuff like that, or putting it into live action. So it should come. Hopefully, it will come. As will interceptions, all that kind of stuff.
As we get ready to go into no huddle, I'm just saying the Dolphins can't be second to last in the league in third down conversion when it comes to the defense, meaning you're giving up too many third downs. So you play a team, a Bill Belichick led team, it's not going to look good for you. So you got to get off the field on third down.
Yeah. Just before we get into no huddle, let's go through some comments again. So if I can find a question. Right. So Rob says, I started following the Finns after watching Finns v Pats on Sky start of 2014 season. They were the feature game on Sky and said whoever wins, I'll follow. Finns won 33-20. He then asked, how'd you get into following the Finns? So before we give our Finn stories, JMR says, Miami Dolphins baby bottle. It was my mom that did it. My dad didn't even watch football. Football Sunday was Mom's Miami Dolphin Day. Robert, on a separate note, said Belichick is going to destroy Mac Jones. DB, when talking about Vic Fangio, LB coach took blame also. JMR says Fangio will fix it. Wilkins was determined to fix it too. And then on the Dolphin stories, DB, we will get to this question in no huddle, or probably after no huddle. IMAX says, my dad was stationed at Den Homestead Air Force Base, now Air Reserve Base. Thanks, Andrew in Homestead. Thanks, Andrew in brackets. In Homestead, Florida, when I was 4.5 at the end of 1979. JML says was born in Hialeah.
Hialeah. Hey, JML and Hialeah, bro. Hey, I had no idea you was from Hialeah. You were born in Hialeah. That's what's up, bro.
IMAX says, even though he's a Steelers fan, all I was exposed to was the Miami Dolphins. And the lead PE teacher at my elementary school played the fight every day. I assume it's the fight song.
Drake, you got the best answer.
JML says, hilarious. IMAX. Robert Ashton says, D had a number of years of blitz. Will take time for mindset to change. You can teach and train as much as you want. Applying the game situation will always take time, I think. IMAX says, Air Force brat, born in Michigan, almost Japan. Mum wanted to be born in the US. That's quite a story. JMR says, Mum was the boss in the end. JMR says, hi, Leah. Okay, you know where the base is. Then add, but she forgot if I'd born on the base in Japan, I'll still be a US citizen. DB says, hopefully the front four was sharp with the Pats O-line hurting. Drakey says, I follow the Finns because Cad ends up going on about them. Listen, I'm just repping.
Shout out to Kadeem initiating people and bringing them into the cult.
I think if Drakey can clarify, but yeah, I go on about the Dolphins a lot. And I think he watched the Ravens game last year on Sky.
Oh, boy, that's all you needed right there.
Like, listen, it was every game
that's all
you needed. The Dolphins. That's the only game you need. And that one, it was like, yeah, I'm hooked. Like, what a game. I'll go very quickly. So, yeah, obviously born in the UK, don't watch much NFL. I'm a soccer guy, I'm a United fan. But growing up, we kind of watched the Super Bowl. So I remember watching the second Giants Patriots one. I remember watching, was it Steelers Cardinals? or Ravens?
The Super
Cardinals?
Bowl?
So Super Bowl where
Yeah,
they had
it
the massive
still-
what do you call it? Blackout.
Oh no, that was Ravens San Fran. That
Yeah,
was Ray
Raven-
Lewis.
Yeah, Raven. I remember that game vividly. And then PS4 came out, I want to say. And Madden 25 was one of the only few games on that console. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy this game. Let me pick a team. Let me actually start with a team, follow this team, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I chose the Dolphins because of the uniform. And essentially, I've been a fan ever since, just becoming more and more addicted as the years and the seasons go on. And then, yeah, Drakey kind of confirms. I took a liking because of Cads. Then I saw the Ravens game, and that was it. Found myself jumping around the living room.
Love
Just-
it.
Charlie,
So,
how
yeah,
did you become a Dolphins fan?
I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. Carroll City, now considered Miami Gardens. I don't really know too many people who call it Miami Gardens. It's still Carroll City to us, right across the street from Lake Lucerne. Used to sit on our roof on 29th Avenue, 100 or 207, 207, 29th Ave. Sat on the roof. Used to see a part of the Jumbotron and see the plays from the Jumbotron. And it was just, you can't be this close to the Joe Robbie Stadium and not be a Dolphins fan. So that's how I became a Dolphins fan. Then I remember the Super Bowl between Cincinnati and the 49ers being there. And I picked the Cincinnati Bengals to win, and they lost. If they would have won, there's a chance I could have been a Cincinnati Bengal fan, but who knows, right? So it's crazy because when I went to the game with my girl, I parked right by my old house, literally walking distance from my old house, and walked to the stadium. So yeah, man, let's get into the I was about to say go time Dolphins. Let's get into no huddle, bro. You got the playbook?
Got the playbook.
Where the music at, bro?
Give me a second. How's it got the playbook?
Bro, like
Yo.
I feel like the music could have came and you could have got the playbook while you was getting the music.
I feel like you could have pressed the music. See, guys, this is what you get. This is what you get. Yeah.
Can't hear you, champ. Can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Got you.
Charlie,
Yep.
weather on Sunday. 79 degrees Fahrenheit.
79 degrees Fahrenheit.
79 degrees Fahrenheit.
Sunday?
Yes.
In
Sunday.
Foxborough. It's not 79
Yes.
degrees. I doubt it. But we'll calculate 79 degrees, but I don't think it's 79 degrees. You got Miami or you got Foxborough for that?
Football.
Nah, that's wrong. But we'll calculate that.
Okay. Right. So very quickly, Charlie tells me I'm wrong. I typed into Google Foxborough weather on Sunday. That's what I typed in.
Oh, but
Big game.
it's at 8 p.m. though. So you probably got like they probably gave you like the time in the afternoon, 12 p.m. in the afternoon.
I type in Foxborough weather Sunday 8 p.m. It hasn't changed. It's still giving me 79
I got
degrees
it.
Fahrenheit.
Let's do it. I'm gonna go with.
Also, very quickly, I thought you did there. You questioned me to give yourself more thinking time.
Nah, I
You ain't
couldn't.
slick.
I couldn't. I have to think now. I have to think now. See, thank you, bro. DB says 65 degrees. See there? But I'll do. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a little cooler than that in Foxborough this time of year. It's Go Time Weather Channel. Hold on, let's do it. So we got 79 divided by 2 minus 14, maybe.
Minus 14. Is that your answer?
No. I'm still showing my work. So 40. Hold on. 40. 20 degrees? 20 degrees Celsius?
Close. 18.
No, bro.
Hold on, no. See, now you changed it. Well, hold on.
No, bro.
Let's try it again.
See, nah, because
No. Wait. Say again. What'd you say?
20 degrees Celsius is not 79 degrees Fahrenheit.
You're wrong, but it's also not 20. It's 26.
No, bruh. You tripping, bruh. Hey, we gonna have to. Hey, I'm gonna have to get a flag.
No.
I'm throwing.
Listen.
I'm gonna throw a review flag on Kadeem for messing up the weather, bruh. And you got me calculating the wrong stuff.
We're doing this now. We're doing this right now.
This is the first time we're gonna have I'm gonna have challenge flags for Kadeem and his weather, and his weather conversion.
Right. You can all see what the screen says, yeah? 26 degrees Celsius, correct? That's what you see. Fahrenheit, 79. That's what it says.
But nah, bro, cause I feel like 18 degrees Celsius is like 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. What's put in 64 degrees Fahrenheit?
64.
In your little calculator. 17.7. Hey, boy, we throwing a flag on Kadeem, bro.
How? Right.
Again,
let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. I said 79 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what I said, yes?
Yeah, and I got that wrong. And I'm fine with that. But you also said it was 18. You also said the answer was 18, but it's not. Yeah, so that tells me there's some inconsistencies with your conversion.
That's because, so 79, if I click on this, 64, and you said 64 in the comments, right?
Yeah, and I said it was 18.
Yeah, but the initial thing was 79. Was it not?
Yeah, and I got that wrong, but that wasn't the weather for the game, though.
Okay, cool. So, everyone in the comments, let me do my thing, yeah? Don't throw me off. Because you throw me off, and this is what you get.
And I'm throwing a flag. I'm throwing a review flag. This is going to the NFL for review. What we got for the injury report?
Might I say the injury report, or are you going to question me on that as well?
I don't know. If you tell me that the injury report is off by 8 degrees Celsius, yeah, I might.
Just anyway. So, it's just so difficult. This has to go. I can't do both. So it's difficult because I'm trying to read it, and it's not going to work. So for the Dolphins, as of Friday, game status: Teron Armstead questionable, Elijah Campbell questionable, Julian Hill questionable, Jalen Phillips questionable. That's it. For the Patriots, Trent Brown questionable with a concussion, Jonathan Jones questionable, Mike Onwenu is questionable, Devontae Parker questionable with Devontae Parker, Sidney Sal is questionable with a concussion, and Cole Strange is questionable as well. And that's what 3 of the Patriots offensive line are questionable.
We gotta walk away with this W. Listen,
100%.
I almost just jumped straight into easy money because I'm so excited about it. But we got Go Time Fantasy, and last week I told you to sit Tua, and I own my losses here on Go Time Dolphins. Tua went off for us, and we're never going to sit him ever again. So we're going to start Tua every week. Although I said Sam Howell will get you right. Sam Howell gave us 15 points too if you had Sam Howell. So yeah, and that was if you took Tua late and you waited on him, go ahead and start him. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to start Tua over Joe Burrow, who only gave you 3 points. You know what I'm saying? So now this is the fantasy football world. Tua put on. We believe in him, and this is where we at. So Tua snap for us. Raheem Mostert is gonna snap for us too. So I'm starting Mostert again. I'm starting Tua again. I'm starting Tyreek. I'm starting Waddle. Durham Smythe is gonna get in the box soon, and we might go anytime touchdown for him in easy money really soon. So check us out on that. But don't start Durham yet. Dolphins defense, give it to me. Jason Sanders, give it to me. We now have the team where, and by the way, I got Jason Sanders in all 8 of my leagues now. I only had him in 7. I have him in 8 now. And we're at the point where you want to have the kicker of the team that scores so much. And that's why I got Jason Sanders. Because we're always scoring and he's always giving us points. So Jason Sanders in fantasy football. I'm not starting McCorkle Jones. I'm not starting any of the Patriots receivers. I'm not starting the Patriots kicker, but I am starting the Patriots defense, and I am starting Ramondre Stevenson. He's going to go off for over 100 yards, unfortunately, and why not start Mike Gesicki? Yes, I'm sure. Start Jason Sanders, bro. Like Jason, I'm sure. Put your faith in my dog. He only missed an extra point. He gave us like 15 points last week. Did he like 3 field goals? 3 field goals, 3 extra points, I think. I think he gave us like 15 points last week.
He missed an extra point, though, didn't he?
But I think he was 3 for 4. I think it was 3 for 4 for extra points. So he gave us like, I'm starting Jason Sanders. And that's all I got for fantasy football.
You got your easy money pick of the week?
If you heard the last episode, this was the first time ever that we gave you the easy money pick of the week in the middle of the week. Here's why. They gave us the Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots at a money line of minus 135. And I think it was 145 when we took it, but it's 155 today. And I didn't want it to shoot up to like 200 or 205 or 250, where I think the line needs to be. This is saying Vegas does not believe in the Dolphins, and they really like New England still, and they only gave it to us for 145, minus 145. So we're all over it. We have a budget, and on Patreon, if you want to follow along, it was 142. Cool, thank you, JML. So we have a budget on Patreon where we started with $1,000. We're up like $372 right now. So we have $1,372 total from last week's winnings. This time we put $400 on the money line. So we took all of our winnings and we bet a little extra of what we had, Kadeem, and we're going to cash out with the easy money pick of the week, which is Miami Dolphins money line. That's safer than any Tua line they're going to give us.
Quick one before we leave, no huddle. iMac asks, season long, any DFS advice?
Don't give up on your stars. You know what I'm saying? But there are secrets waiting, like in the wings. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you can go for your Anthony Richardson's. Like, Burrow didn't give you. I think he gave you 3 points. Richardson gave you 20 points last week, right? So don't be afraid to take chances, but don't give up on your stars either.
I think we might need to have a Patreon-only fantasy corner as well, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that was No Huddle for another week. Love how it kind of fades out as well. Pretty cool. Few comments while I was in No Huddle. Mostly people talking about the Go Time Weather channel. Just mental. IMAX says a couple of friends and co-workers were texting to him that we found a QB. Robert Ashton says, I watched the Orlando Strikers once when on holes in Florida. That team even still existing, could not tell you. And then, J-Mo was rooting for Charlie during No Huddle. Robert Ashton said the iPhone weather app showing 20 Celsius for Sunday. Rob says, you know what? I wish it was hotter. Robert Ashton says, warm for the UK, cold for Miami, I guess. James, apologies, Drakey. Drakey says, I'm not arguing with Charlie on temperature conversions. I would not even guess on Fahrenheit. Rob said Dan Marino is week to week. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dan Marino, by the way.
Happy birthday to the goat.
Dan Marino, my dog.
100%.
The conversation is how many passing yards would he have in this year's NFL with Tyreek and Waddle? And he said, I put up 6,000 yards on them boys. And me and Sherrod Steve said he might put up more than that. I think 6,000 was kind of like modest.
I saw people say that 6,000 was like the floor. Like
straight
that's
up,
the floor of that Marino.
Straight up. Marino with Waddle and Hill in today's NFL. Like, that's not even what Joe Montana said. Joe Montana just said he would throw for 5,000 yards today. You know what I'm saying? We're saying give him Tyreek Hill and Waddle, and he's going off for an additional 1,000 minimum.
Can imagine it. JMR says, will that S into existence? Robert Ashton said, in Touche, we believe. IMAX says, the Colts are playing the Texans. Happy birthday, 13. And then JMR says, honestly, I pay for streaming services I almost never watch. £5 is the best deal in town for a show I never miss. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, man. Straight up.
That's a glowing endorsement, which I genuinely can't thank you enough for.
Hey, by the way, bet in moderation, gamble responsibly. Don't just go out here spending the rent money. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to throw the budget that we put, the fake budget, by the way, that we put up that we're going to try to flip. So gamble responsibly.
100% gamble responsibly, and might want to tuck some away for next week. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is watch this space. Go Time Dolphins is getting bigger. Go Time Dolphins making moves in the background, just signing those deal sheets all over the place. So listen, we'll do it on this side of bonus time. Wow, my mind's going all over the place here. Apologies. Your score prediction for the Dolphins Patriots. Bearing in mind, you did treat the Chargers last week. Just saying.
Yo, I got so next week the budget is gonna be legit because I'm already putting stuff, like I'm moving some stuff around. You know what I'm saying? Since we got some things going on, and I'm really got some exotic bets that I've been doing, right? And I'll share some of the exotic bets that I'm doing next week. But this week, tune in the last minute locks too. Last minute locks comes out on Sunday because the game is Sunday night. So we don't want to miss anything that they give us too early. So we're gonna do last minute locks on Sunday. But and same thing with the Patreon. If you guys are waiting, we're putting it out a day later, which we usually put out Friday. We're gonna do it tomorrow. It spins up Friday, but we'll do it tomorrow because we don't want to miss any bets because we got the Sunday night game. I have the Dolphins winning 27-10. 27-13.
What is it? 27-10, 27-13, like
27-13.
27-13. Robert Ashton says 31-10. I am going 30-13.
Oh, that's a lot of points.
It is. The Patriots have to stop us. JML says, is DraftKings Jason coming on the show again? Try to have some fun with him. Maybe. We'll leave it as a maybe. DraftKings Jason is DraftKings Jason. DraftKings Jason is becoming bigger than DraftKings. So we'll just leave it at that.
Hey, listen. But we really want everyone to know we still rock with Dog and we still cool with him. We text him every day. We text every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our relationship is legit. But there's some things in the works that might be nice to address now because certain things in the business world can't run parallel to each other. So we might have to keep friendships and business. And I'm pretty sure you guys will see some things in the near future about what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. JMR says 38-20. And again, we'll do it on this side of bonus time. Let me know in the comments. Did Charlie get the Fahrenheit to Celsius right? Because if he did, he's 1-1 on the season. If he didn't, he's 0-2. I'm just saying, we will let the comments aside.
Let me argue my case. I got the wrong temperature you gave. I got that wrong. But the actual temperature you gave, I got that right. So I should get the actual temperature right because I got that right.
What you're saying is the temperature that I gave you,
I got it wrong.
Incorrect.
No, I got it wrong.
The temperature that is more likely to be in the evening, which was in the comments, you got that right.
Which was 64, and I got that right.
Let us know in the comments before the end of the episode with a chart. So put a W if you got it right, and L if you got it wrong. JML says gambling laws, stay on the safe side, and then he wants to know your magic formula. So you need to write it down.
We'll chop it up on the other side of bonus time.
100%. Can we get to 10 likes before we get to the end of the show? Obviously, talk about bonus time too, all that kind of good stuff. Charlie, let's get to. I'm not doing that outro, by the way. That's all you.
Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So I was just chatting to first of the podcast, Jordane. She just came back from Birmingham. Rob, great question. How much you paying, Charlie? This L could change to a W.
I'll give you free easy money tips.
Ooh, that
See?
could be fun.
See?
That could be fun. Again, shout out to every single person who's been with us on the live so far. Thanks to all the comments, all the commenters. Thanks to everyone who just popped in to say hi. If you popped in and say hi. Thanks to everyone who has liked it. Thanks to everyone who shared it. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Thanks to everyone who has followed us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If you haven't, open up those apps, go follow us, go comment, say hi. Let us know that you rock with us on those platforms. And thanks to all our patrons as well. Thanks to anyone who's thinking about joining. Thanks to anyone who has passed on to a family friend to join. We appreciate all of us. We appreciate all of it. We wouldn't be where we are today without our fans. We won't be going to where we want to go without you guys as well. So obviously appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Yeah. There was something. Got it. Did you watch the Pat McAfee show today?
Some of it.
Did you see them talking about Mike McDaniel against the Chargers?
I didn't.
So do you know? I'll get to it eventually. Do you know the NFL scout / Chargers commentator Daniel Jeremiah?
Yeah.
So Daniel Jeremiah obviously commentated on the Dolphins Chargers game, and he tells a story of I think the Chargers threw a flag, and it might be quite late on in the game. But anyway, Brandon Staley throws a flag, and
challenge flag,
yeah. And the screen pans to Mike McDaniel, and I believe it's something like he looked at the screen and said something like, "Are you sure, Brandon? Are you sure?" And everyone's laughing at that. Later on in the game, again, there's another situation where the game's kind of halted.
I don't know how I missed that. Twice. I watched the game twice.
It might be for like a timeout or something. Yeah. And Mike McDaniel once again shows up on the Jumbotron.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike McDaniel looks up, sees on the Jumbotron, puts his headset mic down, and says, looking at the camera, "Run the ball 5 times. Run the ball 5 times." Obviously, everyone can see it. Everyone can see Mike McDaniel saying, "Run the ball 5 times." And Dan Jeremiah said that is just hilarious. And then Pat McAfee says as well, that's Mike McDaniel being Mike McDaniel, because it's kind of like the Dolphins barely threw the ball, so barely ran the ball throughout their game. Mike McDaniel saying run the ball 5 times. Is he being serious? Is he joking? All that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's very.
That's Mike McDaniel, though.
That's very Mike
McDaniel, bro.
That is 5 times, but it's also it's a back and forth game. It's tense, like
it's checkers for sure.
But Mike McDaniel is still.
It's chess. I'm sorry. It's chess.
But Mike McDaniel is still being Mike McDaniel. He's not, and some people will say it's good, some people say it's bad. It's one of the things where he will always be Mike McDaniel, win, lose or draw, always Mike McDaniel, and it's why players love him. So,
if you haven't seen the piece on Mike McDaniel battling addiction, you got to see it. It's an ESPN special little 10-minute thing. Got to check it out. I forgot who asked me the equation for Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion, but it's 1 degree Fahrenheit to 17.22 degrees Celsius. In a nutshell, but there are different equations there are different formulas that you can use. And I try to sometimes, depending on the number, I try to go between the safest formula I got to like actually doing the math on 17.22. And then the lights get too bright and I fumble it sometimes. So I got to get better. But when I'm on it.
Robert Ashton says W for Charlie Touche. Rob, because you essentially bribed him, said W for Charlie Touche. Drakey says dub for Charlie because he was so close to what he thought it was. That's an awful reason, but it looks like you're going to get the dub. Looks like Charlie is 1-1 on the season. He pulled it back to 500. So let's see if he can improve on that.
We back. Where my 1-1 graphic? Like you were ready for the 1-0-1 graphic.
Listen, I can do that in post production.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that right now. Nah, I can't work the magic that.
Hey, we balling this year. It's a wrap for y'all.
Oh, hold on.
I'm coming.
Wait.
Hey,
I can do.
Hey, I'm here, bro. I'm here. There it is. I'll take it.
You're 1-1. That's the best I can do for now.
Hey, but I'm 1-0 in easy money. That's all that counts. That's where it matters.
That is true. And hopefully the fans, the watchers are 1-0 as well. JML, again, we appreciate it. He says, I share the link with my wife and she watched the show on mute while she's at work, but she wouldn't comment because she's a Dallas Cowboys fan. That's messed up. Hey, Dallas Cowboys fan, we work with them. One of my good friends is a Cowboys fan.
We got Cowboys fans that listen to the podcast too,
yeah, including JML's wife.
Shut up.
Robert Ashton says, but every player on the sideline sees that and reinforces their faith and trust in him. He's awesome, and yeah, he really is. Mike McDaniel is Mike McDaniel.
By the way, Staley threw that red flag on the Braxton Berrios catch, and Braxton Berrios, as soon as the red flag came out, everybody rushed to the line to try to call the next play, and then Berrios lined up, and then they called timeout for the flag. And the first thing Braxton Berrios did was, that was a catch, and he went back to the sideline just like that with the thumbs up, and he was like, "Yeah, that's a catch. Don't even worry about it."
Just got a question for you, as Rob says.
Hey, I said it. Don't worry about what Rob said.
I think Charlie a doink. It's 1-1.
Nah.
So Teron Armstead, he's practicing. I've seen quite a few people on social media, Twitter, because that's what I'm on mostly, saying that they wouldn't play Teron Armstead against the Chargers, the Patriots.
Yeah.
But also said they wouldn't play him for a few weeks. And they'll basically keep resting him until later on in the season / playoffs. Would you start and play Teron Armstead this week? Would you rest him? What's your plan for Teron Armstead for over the next few days? And again, let us know in the comments what you think we should do with Teron Armstead.
I'm gonna be real quick. When he can go, he can go. When he's ready, I play him. That's it.
Yeah, everyone's saying to like sit him. It's like, why? Why would you sit him for? Like, sit him to what? He gets injured, touch wood, hopefully not, in training, and then doesn't play the whole season. Like, Kendall Lamb has shown that, he can deputize for Teron Armstead. Kendall Lamb also gave up 5 pressures. Like, he wasn't perfect. No sacks is great, but 5 pressures isn't good. So, J-Mar says Lamb is a dog. That Armstead heal up. I can understand the logic and the reasoning, even though I don't agree with it. But yeah, I just think if Armstead can go, then you play him. It further solidifies your offensive line. And I think that's something the Dolphins can't mess around with. So, assuming Armstead is good to go, even if for half a game, then he plays half a game. You don't not play your best offensive lineman when they're fit and healthy. And Drakey says missed TA end of last season. Yeah, we definitely did. Before we shoot off, anything else you want to add?
Nah, man, we appreciate all y'all support. Check us out when we drop this news next week.
100%. And also, I can say this now, there probably won't be a primetime podcast on Monday because I have work in the morning and I doubt I set up for the game. So if you're gonna try and join us for that, I can't imagine it happen. So apologies, but yeah, guys, have a great weekend. Get ready for the game. And quickly, JMR says playoffs. I need Armstead then. Charge and Robert says Chargers show we don't necessarily need to force him to play through the pain. If he needs a few weeks, that gives us more time through the season. That's great. To run Armstead, the team will know what's best, and they will. What I will say, in order to get to the playoffs, you need to win the games, and it's week 1. So let's try and win the games with one Armstead where possible. But guys, thank you again for joining us. Have a great weekend. As JML said, enjoy the game, and we shall see you soon.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's